Hi everyone, so today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in my life. This is a different sort of video to what I would normally do. I just wanted to give you a little update, and I decided that I'm going to document this journey. Those of you that have read my blogs or know me personally will know that I underwent heart surgery 2 years ago. I had an operation. They tried to fix a wall that was missing from my heart, so they operated on that, and I was in recovery for 1 year to 2 years. In this time I didn't feel a great deal better, not like they said I would have done. They said that the difference would have been instant. I'd instantly felt better. I, however, still felt tired. I couldn't understand why I wasn't feeling more tired, since apparently I had double the oxygen going around my body now than previous to my operation. So I kept going back to the doctor and just saying I didn't feel right. Can you check heart scans? Are you sure it's fixed? Everything came back fine. All my blood tests never showed that anything was wrong. Everything was fine. Then about 1 year ago, so a year after my recovery, I felt really ill on holiday in America, and I was doing a little bit of travelling. It was extremely hot, and I had got what I felt was heat stroke. That's what I thought it was. I was sick for 4 days. I was in bed. I couldn't do anything other than sleep. I just felt awful. I had cold water bottles in the bed with me from the vending machines. I just was so hot, and I just felt awful for 4 days. So I just put it down to it was hot. It was over 110 degrees. I was in the desert. I was travelling. It was really hot. But little did I know that was actually the start of my next chapter. I went to the doctor and I came back. I knew something wasn't right. I just didn't feel right. I felt awful. So we had tests showing that I was losing slight protein in my urine. They couldn't find the cause. They couldn't find out why. She'd referred me to a kidney specialist, this specialist, that specialist. No one could find what was wrong with me. So I kind of gave up. And then I started to realise that my heart started to race. So then I started to think, well, maybe it is something wrong with the heart. Maybe the doctors were wrong. I mean, for 28 years of my life, they didn't pick up that I needed heart surgery. I kind of lost a little bit of faith in doctors. So I then kept going backwards and forwards. I spoke to my Heart Smart guy, who I do an exercise class with once a week. I still try and attend when he's around. I feel a little bit safer with him in the gym, knowing that he knows the journey that I went through, and all of my other Heart Smart attendees. We've all been through heart surgery. We all understand each other. So I mentioned it to him, and he picked up that yes, my heart was going a little bit fast, and maybe I should just go back to the doctors just to make sure everything was okay. So by that point, I actually got to see a doctor. It was beating at 153 beats per minute. My blood pressure was fine, but the heart rate was quite fast. I have to have 4 blood tests so that the cardiologist can rule out anything else. These test results picked up that I had hypothyroidism. They'd never actually tested my thyroid in the whole year before that. I had been complaining of feeling unwell. They looked at me, they even did say to me, maybe it's your thyroid, but you don't look like a thyroid patient. So again, it got missed. Anyway, they picked it up, brought me straight in, gave me a load of drugs to try and bring down my hormone levels. My hormone levels were so far off the scale they couldn't actually get a reading, and I had another level that was so low off the scale they again couldn't pick up a reading. So I went home with these drugs. They'd asked me how I'd been feeling, so my symptoms actually were complete textbook to hypothyroidism. I had the rapid heartbeat. I had been losing a little bit of weight, but I'd also been starving, so I'd also been eating quite a lot. So the weight loss wasn't actually dramatic at all. I had kind of been replacing it. I felt starving all the time. I miss hunger. I just literally went from nothing to I need to eat now, and I have to eat everything now. And that was the same with thirst. It was I'm thirsty and I need to down pints now. And I remember it being in the summer and I was like, I was actually scared of drowning myself because I went through 4.5 litres of water one night. Yes, okay, it was summer, it was really hot, but we are in England, it doesn't get that hot. So I was a little bit concerned that I was just drinking excessive amounts of fluid. I was thirsty and no amount of fluid would stop the thirst. I still am thirsty now. I don't drink a lot and then I down pints and it doesn't seem to stop that thirst. I also had the brain fog. This is exactly it. I can't remember what I'm saying as I'm saying it. It is awful. It's embarrassing. I have all of my clients. I've been working for myself for 5 years. I can't remember any of my prices. It's ridiculous. I have to look things up. I just can't remember simple things. Obviously, I remember how to cut someone's hair, how to blow dry, this, that and the other. So don't worry, clients. I do remember. But it's little things like I just get a brain fog if someone asks me a question and I have no idea what the answer is, even though it's something I've been doing for God knows how many years of my life. That is what's probably the worst. I have this constant feeling of cotton wool in my head. It's like it's like I've got a head cold, like a constant head cold. I wake up with it, I go to bed with it. It's there all the time. It's just like I've got this pressure in my head and I just can't shake it off. It's awful. And it is just the worst. It's really embarrassing. Someone asks you a question and I'm waiting for the day someone asks me what my name is and I can't remember. What's my name? Who am I? Oh, it's awful. And the other thing that I find, I don't know if this contributes to the brain fog, but it's the lack of sleep. I do not sleep. I probably average on 5 hours sleep per night, maybe a little bit more depending. Quite often sleep for about 2 hours at a time or 2.5 hours, then I wake, my mind would be buzzing, then I try and get back off to sleep. Sometimes I'd be laying awake for about 3 hours. Sometimes I even was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I just could not get back to sleep. My mind was just so active and it still really, really is. I found I can't sit still, I couldn't sit still, I can't sit through a film, I get bored, I get fidgety. Because the thyroid would make your heart go faster, it controlled my body temperature, so I would just be sweating. And I still have these real horrible hot sweats. I can imagine it's a bit like going through the menopause. So I can't seem to control the Graves rage that comes along. It's there, I'm angry, it happens, and I don't mean it. So if I say anything to you, I do apologise in advance. I just can't help the red mist that comes along into the cotton wool that surrounds my head and I just snap. I blame it on hormones. All of this is hormone based. Anyway, going back to that. Graves is an autoimmune disease that attacks your thyroid. So your thyroid, for those of you who don't know, is in your neck. So here you've got my voice box, which is pushed slightly forward. So all of this here is my thyroid, and we all have one of those. This little thing in my neck controls everything in my body. So mine is slightly enlarged. Some days my neck is really thick, it's really painful and it's really tender, and sometimes I get a real stiff neck. It's really stiff to move. I'm coughing again and it makes me cough. It's quite enlarged, I have trouble swallowing. I just generally feel like I've got a lump stuck in my throat. I mean, obviously I have, and it makes me lose my voice a little bit, and I feel like I've got a tired voice and I've been talking a lot. Anyway, so the plan is to try and beat this Graves disease. We're trying to put it in remission. So I've got 18 months worth of drug therapy. So it's a combination of drugs together to stop the thyroid working, to get my heart rate down, to replace the hormones. So I'm taking 6 tablets a day. So we're hoping that by stopping the thyroid from working and replacing my hormones, my body will go back to normal and the Graves disease will come away from the thyroid and it will go into remission and it will hide until it has a flare up and then I relapse, and then we do it all over again. If, however, my doctor, Dr. N, can't control it with drug therapy after the 18 months, he decides that he will not do the drugs again, because if he can't control it in that time, he's never going to. I then will undergo radioactive therapy, and at the most I'll have 2 bouts of that, and then if that doesn't work, we will just take it out. I was quite happy and all for just taking it out in the first place. I just do not need any more drama in my life because my hormones are everywhere as it is, and I'm extremely hormonal. I've no idea who I am half the time. Some days I'm 100 different personalities in one. So it's a surprise every time you come and see me. You have no idea who you're going to get. Even I don't know who you're going to get. So yeah, I have found though with these replacement hormones that my periods completely stopped. No, that's a lie. I'd have like for one day, I'd have a tiny little bit. Now I feel like I'm a teenager again. It's awful. I have what I call the menopausal sweats. It's awful. So I have that. Then I have the cravings for things. It's just like my hormones are all over the place, and sometimes I just don't know who I am, and I can't wait to start feeling better. So in a couple of weeks I've had some new bloods taken, and in a couple of weeks I see Dr. N again just for a little update to see if this drug therapy is working. So fingers crossed, and I'll give you all a little update when I know a little bit more. So I hope this has helped anyone else that's also going through it. Please comment in this comment section below, because I personally don't know anybody, and it would be nice to make friends with people that are going through the same thing, that do understand. I know with my heart surgery it really helped to have those guys that are still in my life who have also been through the same experience. Thank you for watching. I hope this might help somebody as well. So just a little update, and I will speak to you in a couple of weeks. Thanks.